we're not talking about what's going to happen, but let me talk to you about the choices that we now have. Your new consultation. And this is what I want you to really visualize and I want you to picture. And this is where you've been given a choice. You can either look at returning to work as a negative thing because we've kind of come out of being in the work mode and we've got a bit of anxiety about going back to work. And the decision yesterday, that was different to the decision that you thought was going to happen. You had a different outcome, but I know some of you and a lot of you were going, I'm not ready to go back to work in this pandemic. I'm not ready to go. I'm scared. If they told me I've got to go back tomorrow, I'm actually scared. But then there was another side of you who's going, I can't wait to go back and see my friends, see my clients, cut some hair, be creative again. But actually, what does that look like when I'm covered with a mask and I've got hand sanitizers everywhere and we're trying to clean and we're trying to do all this and then your brain just floods with anxiety. Well, actually, what we can do to calm that down is we find a plan. You visualize that plan. And the plan looks beautiful. A lot of people are saying that they need to put their prices up to cope with the extra costs of PPE and the precautions and the less of clients to go in. Now, we all started at some point where we were a bit more organized. Now, some of you are fast cutters. You're not going to be a fast cutter. You're really, really going to enjoy your job because you can't do 30-minute appointments. Now you're going to take those appointments and you're going to extend them because the clean down and the service that you are going to add to your clients to reassure them that you have their best heart, their interests in your heart and your own safety and your staff safety. And you've all got to be a team for this. So you have to make a plan. If you haven't already made a plan, make a plan. Draw your salon out on what it looks like, the 2-meter rule. We are definitely going to follow these guidelines for a longer time. And it's going to be a part of our life. Wearing a mask is going to be a part of our life. These things, I can't say whether they're definitely happening, but hey, worst case scenario, I've got to wear a mask and gloves. Is that it? And my client's got to wear a mask. But what I really want to talk to you about is how now your consultation is changing, because we're so used to looking at them in the eye and talking them to direct and looking at their mouth and their facial expressions to what you're replying and seeing. And we are going to be blanketed out there. Now, if I said to you, your verbal kind of connection with somebody is a low percentage, probably 10, 20%. The other percentage that you have is body language. And when you're feeling a little bit low, and you're probably feeling like this now, and your head's tilted down, your shoulders are down, and you're gonna give people a little bit, are you okay? Because you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and sometimes you can either be like hunched over and carrying that weight, or sometimes you're just tight and you're there. And the only way you're going to get through that is to get this stronger. Yeah. To get this stronger by getting this stronger, by getting this stronger. Now I've been working out every morning. So that's my routine. I work out and I push it to the extreme where my body can't even think about anything else but my breath. And sometimes when they teach you in meditation, it's all about how you breathe, how you calm yourself down. The exercises that you do to kind of just quiet your mind down and not worry about it. But I'm quite excited to get back to work. And this consultation looks different because now the vocals and the mouth expressions, the smiles will be changed. And now you've got to learn to really feel with your eyes and your body. And our senses will change. So you're going to start opening up parts of your brain that have not been opened. And you didn't realize what was happening. But get excited by it because your brain will now think more. You take away one, you enhance another. You will smile with your eyes. You will give expression with your eyes, and your talking will quieten down. And you will be at one with your client. And you'll be trying to kind of talk back and forward, but if you're both wearing masks. But what we can do, one of the things that I've really thought that, okay, so what are clients expecting? And we need to put the price up, guys. Or we don't discount. We can all just stay the same. Whatever you feel you want to do, you do that. But don't put yourself at jeopardy. Don't put you have to still earn the money. You still have to do that so you can look after your clients and give them the best service, give them the best quality of products. but you've got to make it very unique now. It's probably the service that you should have been doing. So when a client will turn up, they will have their own pack of PPE. They will have their own personal gown. They will have their own personal towels. They'll have their own personal mask, gloves. And you can put a little price on that to give them that. Is that okay? Of course it's okay. They won't mind. They want to support you. So when they turn up, they get this lovely little pack. They unbraid their seal. The coats and bags are hung up next to them, and they hang those up. Yeah. Each unit was sterilized and steam cleaned with a steam cleaner. This is something that Rick Roberts said he steam cleans. So that saves on products all the time. Just a steamer, steam the area down, set out a new packet on another station, next to you. Now, I'm very fortunate. I have a big salon, but for you guys with a smaller salon, enjoy the process. Enjoy the one-to-one with your guest. Don't make it a burden on yourself. You may have to kind of work a couple of more hours, but you'll have that freedom in between to do something amazing. So let's say you're doing a color and then a cut, and you've got that gap in between where we're not allowed to kind of maybe lean over to another client and go back and forth. Within that hour, what can you do? You make a plan. In that hour, what can I do to progress my business, to do my social media, to attract a better audience, to give a good message out there? And in that time, you can sterilize your equipment and have fun with it. The crowding is not going to happen. Your staff room will not happen. So, you have to kind of make allowances for this as well. Bring your color out, prep everything, preparation on every client. You should have been doing this anyway. Prepare the products that you're going to use on that client. You should know those clients, and they're so excited to come back, and that product was them. And then you sterilize that and you put that back. It's easy, and it's becoming normal. It's going to be so easy. I know we're going to be behind plastic screens and stuff like that. And hopefully, I don't know about you, but my hands were red raw after lockdown. Just that time before, washing my hands. So I've got touchless hand sanitizers. Touchless ones, you pop your hand under, it gives you a nice portion. We're not going to be wasting product. That's going to get expensive. So if you put your hand under a touchless one, boom, do that. You could even keep your gloves on and sterilize the outside of your gloves, and get some gloves that really fit you tight, because you're going to start learning to cut hair with them as well. This may be or may not be, but prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And preparation is the key to a better mindset. The layout, that. I want you to start having more team meetings as well about what this looks like when you've got a definite plan. Is that okay? So now I want to talk to you about body language and reading someone's body language and how to connect with a person, because we're not going to be able to do it for our voice, And, I've been studying body language for quite a time, because I think it's very important to kind of connect with a soul and give them the same energy back. And if you can see that your clients are a little bit worried, a little bit slumped, they've got something going on, they're not going to be able to verbally talk to you, but you can give them a really good feeling by how you change yourself and the choices you've made to kind of bring yourself up to this kind of better being, that you're going to look after them. And remember, I got sent a message this morning that, there was a girl that I was speaking to. Her name was Emma, and her boyfriend is a psychologist. And I talk about psychology a lot because I had to understand why my brain didn't work. And I mean that in a way that I felt very different to everybody else. And that is all because of my memories of where I've come from. So when I started learning body language and the reactions, and if you get in someone's space like this, and you're up in their space, they tend to kind of back away from you. So people will want more space generally now. And you'll see that, the 2 meter distance rule, you never had personal space. Now you've got a lot of it. But when that slows down, what does that look like? The human contact, the human touch. But we are going to be this close to somebody. We're very gifted, because we're going to be this. We're not going to be facing them. We're going to be talking through the mirror. So you're going to learn your consultations and how to do them behind the mirror, but still have the interaction of eye contact. And you won't touch your client unless you ask for permission. Is it okay if I touch your hair? You will now ask permission, and this allows you into their psyche. You've now entered their zone where they haven't had a zone to be entered. Does that make sense? a lot of people will feel like this. And I just want to give you that heads up now. That's what it's going to feel like. And you're going to have the best service that you've ever got. And then you're going to have the opportunity to give the best haircut. Now, if she's sitting there and, you know, she's engaged with you, or she started sloping and stuff like that, or, you know, her foot starts tapping, or, you know, and you're nodding, you know, a lot, like if you start nodding, you start nodding with me. Yeah. If you start smiling, they can't see you smile anymore. So you got to smile with your smiles. Smile with the smiles. You got that? Hand gestures. You know, you got to read them and read how they're feeling. If they're looking around the salon, they're a little bit lost because you've left them alone a little bit. You make eye contact with them, you go forward. You've got to really deliver a good consultation now. The power of consultation.